another night. Let's cook some dinner. Hey y'all, it is Friday and let's cook some dinner. I decided tonight that I am going to make burgers because we found burger patties in our freezer. That's pretty rare in February. And the weather outside is pretty nice. It's pretty mild, so it's a good day to grill. I'm gonna make some homemade buns because that is one of the #1 ways that I save money on a meal like this, because good quality buns are pretty expensive in the store and it adds up. So we're gonna make our buns. I think I'm gonna fry up some fries in, like, actually deep fry them, make it kind of special because it's Friday night, and we're gonna have a Caesar salad on the side. Okay, the first step here is I'm gonna take 3/4 cup of warm water. I like to get it to about 1/16 or so, and I need to mix that with my sugar and my yeast. I like to add the water first, because otherwise it's hard to tell if I have added enough water, because it calls for a 1/4 cup of sugar and that displaces quite a bit of water. So I always add my water first. Then the recipe calls for a tablespoon of yeast, okay, while that proofs, I am going to get my flour and salt mixed up. This calls for, let's do a heaping tablespoon of salt. Okay, let's see if I can do this one-handed. I see ladies crack eggs with one hand all the time. We did it. Next is the butter. I don't know if anybody else ends up with these like scraps of butter in their fridge, but I'm going to use 2 scraps up today. It calls for 2 tablespoons. This might be a very generous 2 tablespoons, but it'll be fine. Okay, my butter is nice and melty. I'm going to add all of my liquid into my liquid. Make sure everything is stirred up in there. Okay, this is nice and homogeneous. I don't feel any sugar that needs to be dissolved still. It's all mixed in there. And I am going to pour it into my bagels. My bagels, my goodness. I'm gonna pour it into my buns. Mix this all up just so that it's incorporated. And then I'm gonna let the mixer do my kneading. I find when I don't do an initial stir like this, it doesn't always get all the flour off of the bottom of my bowl. Okay, while the dough is kneading, I'm gonna take this bread and I'm gonna chop up some cubes and we're gonna make some croutons. Okay, so those croutons will just go in the oven until they're brown, toasty. It may be 10 minutes. I suggest maybe not leaving the kitchen. Just keep a close eye on them and toast them until they look right. This is how I rise my bread, especially in the winter. It's a rice sock, and I've got my rising bowl here. I'm just gonna tuck the rice sock against the side. You can't really see that. Sorry, y'all. I need a better tripod. I'm gonna put some olive oil in the bowl. Okay, then I'm gonna take my beautiful dough. I just love dough. And I'm gonna put it in the oil, and I use the dough to kind of oil the bowl more. And then I flip the dough over. That's how I do basically every dough I ever do. And then that way it all gets oiled nicely. And this rises for 2 hours. It says 1 to 2 hours. I like to do the full 2. So that's why I started this at, it's like 1:30 right now. So we need this for dinner tonight, and I started them way early. They're so easy, but the rise is a 3-hour rise plus baking time. So you gotta start them around noon to have dinner at a decent hour. So we're gonna let this rise up.
We buy our canola oil organic from Azure Standard, and we really only use it a few times a year for times when we really want to do some deep frying. And then on the right here, I have our onions. I cook it down with maybe an 1/8 cup of sugar, and then it gets nice and caramelized and is just delicious on top of burgers. When I eat my burger like this, I usually put mayo and avocado on it as well. And then here are my fries. I don't pay attention to temperature, I just get it hot and I do it. Here are the burgers. My husband handled these and was nice enough to take a video for me. And here is our final spread.
It is another night. Let's cook some dinner. There's a lot going on in the kitchen tonight. Let me show you. Okay, there's a pressure canner here that is coming to pressure. We have chickpeas canning for the shelf. Here I have my yogurt going. That'll be ready tomorrow. And then in here I have bread going, and I have this guy. So it's about 4:10. We like to eat around 5:30 or the kids melt, so I need to get cooking. We are gonna have our last steaks from our cow, or the last cow we bought. So they're little steaks, they're fillets. So I need some really hefty sides. So I think what I'm gonna do is sweet potatoes with a little bit of butter and brown sugar. And then I'm gonna do like a garlic Alfredo pasta on the side. And then we also have some lettuce. So I'm going to make just a quick small salad on the side. I better get to work. Okay, so back here, I have my sweet potatoes going first because those are gonna take a while. And then I'm boiling some water for the pasta. And then here, I just have some ingredients. I'm not following a recipe, really. I'm just sort of winging it. So I need some butter still, but I'm gonna melt some butter, do some flour, cook some milk in it and thicken it up. And then I'm gonna add, wow, there's a lot going on here. I'm gonna add pepper and garlic powder and salt and taste it and see where we're at. What?
Okay, this is the third night, and I made a crock pot short ribs meal. I needed a really quick meal tonight because I wasn't going to be around dinner time, and so I just served this up with rice and broccoli. And this meal was just okay. We don't really like beef short ribs, but we got them with our last cow, and we actually chose to grind this selection into ground beef for our next cow. So this is just me trying to make the best of the last of these, and it was tasty, but just not our favorite cut of meat. And here is the final product. Thank you so much for hanging out with me this week, y'all, and I hope to bring you more videos like this soon. Have a great week.